Howdy y'all. Barry Curtis. I've been telling you guys for a while now. I was going to do another review on this firestorm, and got caught up with the whole work life and all that shit. You know how that goes. But kind of taking time off from that. Life's short. You gotta enjoy it where you can. But anyhow, I had this knife for well over a year now, maybe a couple years. I don't know, it's became my everyday carry. This knife's almost always within my reach because it's a reliable knife. But look how clean that chop is, and that's pretty much as round as my pinky. This is oak. Y'all can. That's a sharp knife. Feather stick right there. And yet again, look how clean that cut is. And this knife, the knife's been abused. Every time I go out in the woods, it's with me. I've used it at work. I've used it to cut felt paper, for landscaping, for roofs. I think I've even cut tar paper with it once or twice, but I don't really like doing that because there's too many chemicals, and I actually use this to cut my food with as well when I'm out in the woods. Yeah, I got this one. I carry my my Scandinavian steel bear knife every now and then too, and same thing, I think I made a video showing off that small wood burner of mine that I got. I was using it. I cook with it and everything. I use my knife for a lot of food preparations too, so I don't like using them a whole lot for things that has chemicals and all that. Same reason I use like animal fat and stuff like that to keep them from rusting and everything. I don't use 3-in-1 or any kind of industrial oils because I use most of my knives for food prep or to cut my food, and I'm not big on chemicals either way. It's just part of who I am. I don't like that. But, yeah, I just wanted to show this knife. I haven't sharpened this thing in a while. Look at that. He cut some nice feathers on there. Want to bite down pretty deep until it's sharp. Sharp. I did kind of modify the case a little bit. I did take the ferro rod off of it because I normally carry one in my bag, purposes I've been carrying is kind of, you know, just unnecessary to always have a ferro rod, and it was catching on things. So I took it off the case, which I could always put back on when I go into the woods and stuff, but other than that, it's really not practical for an EDC and everyday carry. Besides that, I'm a smoker and I normally keep a Zippo on me, and my Zippo is almost always filled, and you know, I got extra flints and all of that, but when this goes in a bag with me, which is very rare, because like I said, this is normally on my side, but I do, every now and then I switch out my knives. I got that, what was it? GSC? I think it was GSC. I did a review on it too. It's on my YouTube. The big, it's a D2 still knife. It's really shiny. But I did a video on it as well. I do switch out now and then, and I use that knife. And this one will be in a bag. That knife has a ferro rod on it. It stays on it because that's just a straight out in the woods knife. That's the only purpose for it. Mostly for camping. But yeah, I did not see the practicality of keeping a ferro rod with this knife at all times, since I carry this knife almost all the time. That has nothing to do with the knife itself. The knife itself, after the year that I had it, or however long it's been now, I have no complaints about this knife. It's never, you know, it's never nicked. It's never really flattened out. It holds a mean edge. I mean, it'll hold a mean edge. I'm not sure if you guys have, I mean, look at that. That's just a mean little knife. Chopping, cutting, carving, food prep is fucking amazing. Sorry for my language, but food prep is amazing. The wieldability of this knife, amazing. I mean, for what it is, and I know I get some crap on this knife here and there too, because I think it's like a 5-inch blade, something like that. Like a big guy, little knife. You don't need nothing much bigger than that. I mean, I don't live in the jungle. I live in, what, western Pennsylvania. I got a little bit of forest here and there, and when I do go to the bigger forest, it's still a forest. It's not a rainforest. It's not a jungle. Like, I do got machetes, I do got bigger knives, but that's, if you can't see the tongue starting to twist up. Survivability, sustainability. If you can't do that with a knife like this, I don't think, personally, in my opinion, that you should be carrying around a knife. I mean, if you cannot use something like this for survivability purposes, as in woodland purposes, I do not believe that you should call yourself any kind of knifesman, because there's many things that you're going to do with this that you can still do with a large knife, but a large knife ain't gonna do as many things as this can do as a small knife. Alright? I know to a lot of people that ain't gonna make sense, but out of my experience, I go between 4 and 6 inches. 4-inch blades kind of a little bit, small even for me, because I also use them for wood processing and stuff like that. 5-inch blades about perfect, because normally when you cut down your wood, I got a lot of oak around me. I normally cut down limbs about the size of my wrist. Alright, so when I lay this across it, I can still use this to baton, and that's still a log. That's still, a fuel source. It ain't kindling. That ain't, something to start. That's a fuel source. So I can work with that. And a 5-inch blade will still work with that. It don't take up as much room. Like I said, it's light. It's maneuverable. It's an all-purpose, just good knife. My opinion as well. I'm not asking everybody to share my opinion. I'm just giving everybody my opinion, because that's what a review is. I'm giving you my review, my opinion on this product. And my opinion is you can't beat it. Moorhaus made a damn good knife when they made Firestorm. Hunting, you're out camping. I carry mine side scout, as on the side of me, not on the back of me, where I do have another sheath that I can carry it on my back. I'm right-handed, so I normally carry it right. This is left-handed, so it sits on my left-hand side instead of my back. Now, I do that because I'm out in the woods a lot. All right. I got my bow, I got a back quiver. When I scout carry on my back, my quiver bounces off my sheath and it makes all kinds of noise, which, if you're gonna do that, what's the sense of going hunting, right? On the side, it's a lot easier. My quiver don't hit off of it. And I won't say it's easier to get to. It's almost a more natural function just to reach to the side, like Jesse James, you reach for your side gun, but instead of a gun, it's your knife. It's so natural to me that I do it sometimes without even thinking. I get kind of startled. It's the first reaction, and before you know it, I'm already pulling it past the sheath. Gets me in trouble sometimes. But whole point being, you can't beat this little knife. Not for the price, not for the durability of it, the sustainability of it. I mean, if you guys have seen the video that I did when I first got it, you'll notice I did wood burn some runes into my handle. The blade is still sexy as ever. I've had to sharpen it a couple times, but the handle itself is kind of dulled from all the use. But the blade is still true and straight. I've processed, like I said, I've processed wood with this. I've done all kinds of stuff with this knife. For what I paid for it, I mean, I'm half tempted just to get me another one, just as a backup. Or maybe I'll put it on my other side and do a double Jesse James. I don't know, but anyhow, that's my follow-up second review on this knife after having it for so long. All I can say is, you run across a Firestorm, you have a couple extra bucks, pick one up. I think Amazon carries them. Uh, if you're somebody that spends time out in the woods, you love knives, and it is not a bad buy. I'd suggest you pick one up. And that's just, like I said, my opinion, my suggestion, but you won't be disappointed.